For 8 unforgettable seasons, The Andy Griffith Show brought warmth, humor, and small-town charm into American homes, capturing the essence of Mayberry with its lovable characters and heartfelt storytelling. With Andy Taylor's steady wisdom, Barney Fife's comedic genius, and a cast of unforgettable personalities, the show resonated with audiences, creating a nostalgic legacy that still endures today. But as time has passed, many of the beloved actors who brought Mayberry to life have left us. Let's remember 15, the Andy Griffith Show actors who have tragically passed away. Andy Griffith as Andy Taylor. Andy Griffith was born on June 1, 1926, in Mount Airy, North Carolina. At 34, he stepped into the role of Sheriff Andy Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show in 1960, embodying the calm, wise, and compassionate lawman of Mayberry. With his warm demeanor and quick wit, Andy Taylor didn't just enforce the law, he taught life lessons, making audiences laugh while also touching their hearts. The role cemented Griffith as an icon of American television, a status further solidified when he played the sharp-witted attorney in Matlock, 1986 to 1995. His range as an actor extended beyond television, with standout performances in films like A Face in the Crowd, 1957, proving his ability to shift from wholesome to deeply dramatic roles with ease. But beyond the screen, Griffith's life was just as eventful.
Jim, it's for his wife. It kind of thaws him out at bedtime.
He married 3 times, first to Barbara Bray Edwards, with whom he adopted 2 children. After a second marriage to Solika Casuto, he found lasting companionship with Cindy Knight, whom he wed in 1983. Their bond remained strong until his final days.
I don't rightly see who he could be disturbing.
However, his later years were marked by health challenges, including Guillain-Barré syndrome in 1983, which temporarily left him paralyzed, and ongoing heart problems. On July 3, 2012, Griffith passed away at 86 from a heart attack at his home in Manteo, North Carolina, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate with generations of fans.
Ain't we picking our peaches before they're fuzzed up good?
Don Knotts as Barney Fife. Don Knotts was born on July 21, 1924, in Morgantown, West Virginia. At 36, he brought to life the unforgettable Deputy Barney Fife on The Andy Griffith Show in 1960, creating a character that became a staple of television comedy. Barney was eager yet hilariously inept, his over-the-top reactions and boundless enthusiasm making him an instant fan favorite. Knotts' performance was so remarkable that it earned him 5 Emmy Awards for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy, an achievement that remains legendary. His comedic genius extended to films like The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, 1966, and The Apple Dumpling Gang, 1975, proving that his ability to entertain wasn't confined to just one role. Off-screen, Knotts' personal life was filled with its own twists and turns. He married 3 times, first to Catherine Metz, with whom he had 2 children. After a decade-long marriage to Lauralee Chuckna, he found companionship with Frances Yarborough. Their marriage lasted until his passing.
The first rule is, obey all rules.
In his later years, Knotts battled lung disease and declining vision, health struggles that never diminished his humor or spirit. On February 24, 2006, he passed away at 81 in Los Angeles, California, due to complications from pneumonia.
Barney!
Frances Bavier as Aunt B. Frances Bavier was born on December 14, 1902, in New York, New York. At 58, she stepped into the role of Aunt B on The Andy Griffith Show in 1960, portraying Andy Taylor's loving, no-nonsense aunt who ran the Taylor household with warmth and wit. Aunt B was as famous for her delicious home cooking as she was for her tender-hearted yet often comedic interactions with Andy and Opie. In 1967, Bavier's exceptional performance earned her an Emmy further solidifying her place in television history. Prior to her Mayberry days, she showcased her versatility with a role in the sci-fi classic The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951, and a successful Broadway career. Despite her warmth on screen, Bavier lived a much more private life away from Hollywood.
Well, Andy Taylor Body'd have to get up mighty early in the morning to put one over on B-Tail.
Never marrying or having children, she chose a quiet existence in Siler City, North Carolina, after retiring from acting. However, her final years were marked by declining health as she battled heart disease and breast cancer.
Yes, sir, I'm going to enter these pickles.
These?
On December 6, 1989, she passed away at 86 in her home in Siler City due to heart failure.
Some coffee?
Howard McNear as Floyd Lawson. Howard McNear was born on January 27, 1905, in Denver, Colorado. At 55, he charmed audiences as Floyd Lawson, the lovable and slightly absent-minded barber of Mayberry, when the Andy Griffith Show premiered in 1960. With his quirky, meandering conversations and endearing cluelessness, Floyd quickly became a favorite in the town's landscape of eccentric characters. Beyond Mayberry, McNear's talents shone in radio, with memorable performances on The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, as well as in voice acting roles that highlighted his distinct comedic delivery. However, his career was tragically interrupted by health struggles. In 1963, McNear suffered a severe stroke that left him partially paralyzed, forcing him to take a hiatus from the show.
You know, it's a kind of a clap, clap, clap sound.
With immense determination, he later returned to the Andy Griffith Show with special accommodations to continue his beloved role. Despite his resilience, his health continued to decline, and on January 3, 1969, he passed away at 63 in San Fernando Valley, California, due to complications from the stroke.
Dyed it blonde. Came out orange. You know why she did that?
George Lindsay as Goober Pyle. George Lindsay was born on December 17, 1928, in Fairfield, Alabama. At 35, he stepped into the shoes of Goober Pyle in The Andy Griffith Show in 1964, bringing to life a lovable, goofy mechanic who became a fixture in Mayberry's charm. With his signature cap and comedic antics, he quickly won over audiences, securing his place in television history. The role carried over to Hee Haw, where he continued to spread laughter, and even lent his unmistakable Southern drawl to Disney's The Aristocats, 1970, proving his voice was as memorable as his on-screen presence. But beyond the cameras, Lindsay had a heart just as big as his characters. He married Joanna Herbert in 1955, and together they had 2 children before their marriage ended in 1991.
Well, I don't know how they get around.
While acting brought him fame, philanthropy brought him purpose. He dedicated much of his later life to helping children with disabilities, using his celebrity to raise funds and awareness. However, time took its toll. In his later years, he battled heart problems, and on May 6, 2012, he passed away at 83 in Nashville, Tennessee, due to heart failure.
And they found out he was the 1941 hide-and-go-seek champion.
Jim Nabors as Gomer Pyle. Born on June 12, 1930, in Sylacauga, Alabama, Jim Nabors was 32 when he stumbled into Mayberry as Gomer Pyle in 1962. With his thick Southern accent, wide-eyed innocence, and signature Shazam catchphrase, he transformed the character into a fan favorite. His portrayal of the simple yet good-hearted gas station attendant became so popular that it led to his own spin-off, Gomer Pyle, USMC, which ran for 5 successful seasons. But his talents stretched far beyond comedy. His deep baritone voice stunned audiences, particularly during his performances on The Carol Burnett Show. His rendition of Back Home Again in Indiana even became a cherished tradition at the Indianapolis 500. Away from the spotlight, Nabors preferred a quiet life.
For the come below.
He shared a loving relationship with Stan Cadwallader for decades before officially marrying him in 2013. Health struggles, however, became a constant battle. After undergoing a liver transplant in 1994 due to hepatitis B, he continued to face complications. On November 30th, 2017, Nabors passed away at 87 in Honolulu, Hawaii, from organ failure. Aneta Corsaut as Helen Crump. Aneta Corsaut was born on November 3, 1933, in Hutchinson, Kansas. At 30, she joined The Andy Griffith Show in 1963 as Helen Crump, the sharp and independent schoolteacher who captured Andy's heart. Her presence added a gentle romance to Mayberry, showing a different side of Sheriff Taylor. Though she is best remembered for this role, Corsaut had a knack for versatility. Starring alongside Steve McQueen in the cult classic The Blob, 1958, proving she could thrive beyond small-town charm. Despite her on-screen warmth, Corsaut kept her personal life fiercely private. She never married or had children, instead dedicating her life to her craft.
What kind of question is that?
Unfortunately, her later years were overshadowed by illness. She faced a quiet but difficult battle with lung cancer, which eventually claimed her life on November 6, 1995, at age 62 in Studio City, California. Hal Smith as Otis Campbell. Hal Smith, born on August 24, 1916 in Petoskey, Michigan, was 44 when he brought Otis Campbell, Mayberry's beloved town drunk, to life in The Andy Griffith Show in 1960. With his staggering gait and slurred charm, Otis somehow managed to make public intoxication endearing, always locking himself up in his own jail cell when he had one too many. But Smith's career stretched far beyond Mayberry. His rich, animated voice became legendary in the world of voice acting. He famously gave life to Owl in Disney's Winnie the Pooh franchise and voiced countless characters across radio and television. Outside the studio, Smith's life was far more stable than Otis's.
You ain't gonna string me up for just a little drinking, that ain't right.
He married Vivian Standish in 1936, and the couple remained together until her passing in 1987. As time passed, his health began to decline, and he suffered from heart problems. On January 28, 1994, Smith died of a heart attack at the age of 77 in Santa Monica, California.
Call for the doctor!
Betty Lynn as Thelma Lou. Betty Lynn was born on August 29, 1926, in Kansas City, Missouri. At 35, she stepped into The Andy Griffith Show in 1961 as Thelma Lou, the sweet and patient girlfriend of the ever-bumbling Barney Fife. Her charm and unwavering devotion to Barney made her a fan favorite, bringing a touch of romance to the series. But Lynn's career spanned far beyond Mayberry. Before television, she graced the big screen in Cheaper by the Dozen, 1950, and several other films, displaying a warmth that made her instantly likable. Unlike her character, Lynn never married or had children. Instead, she found contentment in her independence. Later in life, she moved to Mount Airy, North Carolina, Andy Griffith's real-life hometown, to stay close to the show's enduring legacy. Though she remained active in fan events, age eventually caught up with her. On October 16, 2021, at 95, she passed away in Mount Airy from natural causes. Jack Dodson as Howard Sprague. Jack Dodson was born on May 16, 1931, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At 34, he stepped into the world of Mayberry as Howard Sprague, the mild-mannered but sometimes awkward county clerk in The Andy Griffith Show, 1966. His portrayal added a layer of charm and sincerity to the small-town setting, making Howard a memorable part of the beloved series. But Dodson wasn't just defined by Mayberry. His versatility shone in films like The Getaway, 1972, alongside Steve McQueen, and through numerous supporting roles that showcased his acting range. Beyond the world of television, Jack Dodson embraced a fulfilling personal life. He was married to Mary Dodson from 1958 until his passing, and together they raised 2 children. Known for his humility and quiet dedication to his craft, Dodson kept his personal struggles out of the spotlight. In his later years, he fought a private battle with cancer. On September 16, 1994, he passed away at the age of 63 in Los Angeles, California. Hope Summers as Clara Edwards. Hope Summers was born on June 7, 1902 in Mattoon, Illinois. At 59, she became a familiar face in The Andy Griffith Show, 1961, as Clara Edwards, the kind-hearted Mayberry resident who was always involved in town activities with an undeniable charm. Her portrayal of Clara brought a sense of community and warmth to the show, making her a beloved figure among fans. But Summers was more than just the friendly neighbor. Her acting career extended into films like Rosemary's Baby, 1968, and numerous television roles, proving her ability to bring depth to any character. Off-screen, Hope Summers led a life filled with love and resilience. She was married to Claude Summers and raised 2 children, though she later became a widow after her husband's passing.
But I get real weary for the old scam sometimes, you know.
Even as she aged, her passion for performing never waned. However, in her later years, she faced health challenges, including heart disease, which gradually took its toll. On June 22, 1979, at the age of 77, she passed away in Woodland Hills, California, due to heart failure. Howard Morris as Ernest T. Bass. Howard Morris was born on September 4, 1919, in New York City. At 46, he turned chaos into comedy as the wild and unpredictable Ernest T. Bass in The Andy Griffith Show, 1963. Despite appearing in only a handful of episodes, his performance was nothing short of iconic. His high-energy antics and mischievous nature left an unforgettable mark on the show. But acting was just one facet of Morris's talent. He made his mark behind the scenes as well, directing and voicing characters in the Flintstones and becoming a comedic force in your show of shows, proving his versatility in the entertainment industry. Away from the screen, Morris led a life just as dynamic as his characters. He married Mary Helen McGowan in 1945, with whom he had 3 children before their divorce in 1958.
Gold tooth?
Catch the glare as my mouth kicked open?
Later, he remarried Dolores Winker in 1962, though their marriage ended in 1977. In his final years, he faced declining health, struggling with heart and lung issues. On May 21, 2005, he passed away at the age of 85 in Los Angeles, California, due to heart failure.
Why don't we break down that rock, find out what that possum's doing in under that?
Jack Burns as Warren Ferguson. Jack Burns was born on November 15, 1933, in Boston, Massachusetts. At 33, he took on the challenge of replacing the beloved Barney Fife as Deputy Warren Ferguson in The Andy Griffith Show, 1965. Though his stint in Mayberry was brief, his portrayal of the eager yet bumbling officer left an impression. But Burns's talents extended far beyond acting. He built a thriving career in comedy, teaming up with George Carlin and later writing for The Muppet Show, where his sharp wit and creative mind found a perfect outlet. Beyond the entertainment world, Burns lived a life of creativity and dedication. He was married to Nancy Burns, and together they raised a son.
This certainly is a pleasure. I've heard some wonderful things about you.
Though he spent most of his years making others laugh, he faced serious health challenges later in life, particularly with respiratory issues that he largely kept private. On January 27, 2020, at the age of 86, he passed away in Los Angeles, California, due to respiratory failure.
Barney, I'll drive you over and you can change. Oh, Andy, this is going to be a great...
Parley Baer as Mayor Roy Stoner. Parley Baer was born on August 5, 1914, in Omaha, Nebraska. At 48, he took on the role of Mayor Roy Stoner in The Andy Griffith Show, 1962, portraying a firm and no-nonsense leader, a stark contrast to his easygoing predecessor, Mayor Pike. His performance highlighted a different kind of leadership in Mayberry, adding depth to the town's ever-evolving dynamics. But Baer's career extended far beyond Mayberry's City Hall. He became a familiar voice in the adventures of Huckleberry Finn and appeared in The Young and the Restless, his warm, resonant tone making him a standout in both radio and television. Beyond the screen, Parley Baer found stability in his personal life. He was married to Ernestine Clark from 1946 until his passing, and together they raised 2 children. Known for his dedication to his craft, Baer remained active in entertainment for decades. However, in 1997, he suffered a stroke that severely impacted his mobility, marking a difficult chapter in his later years. On November 22, 2002, at the age of 88, he passed away in Los Angeles, California, due to complications from the stroke. Joanna Moore as Peggy McMillan. Joanna Moore was born on November 10, 1934, in Parrott, Georgia. At 29, she stepped into the role of Peggy McMillan in The Andy Griffith Show, 1962, playing the gentle and kind-hearted nurse who briefly became Andy's love interest in Season 3. Though her time in Mayberry was short-lived, her presence added a touch of romance to the show, leaving a lasting impression. But Moore was more than just Peggy. Her striking beauty and talent led her to roles in classic films like Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, 1958, where she exuded the timeless allure of Hollywood's golden era. Away from the spotlight, Joanna Moore's life was filled with highs and lows. She married actor Ryan O'Neal in 1963, and together they had 2 children, Tatum and Griffin O'Neal.
And I really do mean thank you.
Well, yes.
However, their marriage unraveled amid struggles with substance abuse and personal turmoil. Moore faced her own battles, fighting addiction and later confronting lung cancer in her final years.
All right, I'll only do 9.
On November 22, 1997, at the age of 63, she passed away in Indian Wells, California, due to complications from lung cancer. Though many of Mayberry's beloved faces are no longer with us, their legacy lives on through the timeless charm of The Andy Griffith Show. Their performances continue to bring laughter, warmth, and nostalgia to fans old and new, reminding us why this classic series remains a treasured part of television history. Which Andy Griffith Show character was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more classic TV memories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.